Alright, so here we are. Season of the Wish. Season of the Witch? Anyway, new season next week. I'm going to be giving my closing thoughts on this one. Definitely not a confusing naming convention, but here we go. Starting off with the meat and potatoes of the last 3 months of seasonal activities. Like Season of the Deep, we got 2 brand new seasonal activities, Sabbath to Inspire, Altars of Summoning. Starting off with the Sabbath to Inspire, it's very simple objective-based arenas that are randomized every run, 3 or more variants every arena, rotating daily, weekly, on a run-by-run basis. It's okay. I've come to expect at this point a high-density seasonal arena to be launched every season, and this one doesn't disappoint. The kicker this time around was the use of a card-based quote-unquote deck system, if you would call it that, where throughout the weeks we could collect a total of 12 cards in a deck, which could be added or removed in the helm and taken into both seasonal activities. In my opinion, this is one of the better implemented seasonal mechanics Bungie's come up with since the launch of the game, realistically, and the effects of these cards are quite powerful and worth collecting in these activities specifically. My favorite, being the Witch, the Blades, the Truth. Those ones are very powerful for grenades, ammo damage, etc. The effects and what cards you get are randomized before you start each run. I think that's pretty cool. You can re-roll only so many number of times, but you gotta get what you get and roll with the flow, change your gameplay style based on what the cards, and I think they are all worth it realistically. For the other seasonal activity, Altars of Summoning, the second, my favorite of the activities. Think Court of Oryx, but just better. The variety, the bosses, it's not time gated, it's just more of everything, really. The worst part of Altar Summoning is there's no concrete endpoint. You just keep going until you feel it's time to stop. Some people say to themselves, hey, I just want to get in, do my run as quick as I can, get my loot, and go after one chest. Some people want to grind to an end screen, to an end goal. It's really an activity where the goal is to just farm loot the entire time, just farm encounters and kill things, pretty much. It's okay. I do enjoy it. The biggest downside is that in the powerful offerings, the hardest reward level of Altars of Summoning, you can get some really brain-dead individuals to team up with. It's hardly a team. It's just you and just 2 people who are fresh off of a pace-eating binge and decided that it'd be a good idea to hop into one of the harder seasonal activities that have ever been offered. It's a good challenge, but we're dealing with Destiny players here, so take that with a grain of salt. Besides these 2 seasonal activities, nothing else of substance was added this season. Well, maybe the Embaro engine. Cute little puzzles, cute little name. I didn't bother solving them myself, just looked at YouTube videos. I'm sure everyone who solved them by their own, by their lonesome, felt a sense of pride and accomplishment, but not me. I really didn't have time or patience for any of that. The rewards from Embaro engine mean nothing. The entire activity is really just a story vessel more than anything. I think it was a pretty good idea. Thematically, it was solid. I enjoyed what little time I did spend in it, and especially during the final 3 weeks of the season where they unveiled a pretty major story beat and actually released the name and launch date of the new season before an hour before. So it's a good marketing that I'm sure the Bungie marketing directors agree with me on. Besides this, thinking of loot this season, it's alright. Nothing groundbreaking. All usable at most, but nothing scratches or even begin to break into the meta or the surface of upper end PvE or PvP. The best item, in my opinion, added is the rocket launcher, but still, there's just better options everywhere. The seasonal exotic is borderline useless. It's a gimmick gun saying, here you go, have something unique before we reskin another exotic from Destiny 1 and give it to you in a season pass next season. Apart from that, I think that Season of the Witch was perfectly passable. A solid experience made worse by Bungie's insistence on live service seasonal storytelling, which, thank God, is getting an overhaul into 3-week 6 sections starting during the final shape. That cannot come soon enough. And besides that, I don't think anything else happened this year. Oh yeah, Crota. Crota came back. I already made a video on my thoughts on that, so go watch that if you haven't already, but I'm not going to cover it here because I had a lot to say during then. So yeah, until then, thank you for watching this. See you next time.